Hello, folks, and welcome back to NL Now. I am your host, Gary Wheeseltin. I'd like to thank you all, of course, the viewers at home, for tuning in to our show each and every week. We really appreciate your support. This morning, we have a wonderful show for you. In the interview chair, I'll be chatting with Dr. Mike Wahl, who has his own show coming to NTV next summer. We'll be chatting about that. And on the musical guest soundstage, I have Chris Kirby stopping by. And here he is now, folks, to open up the show, Chris Kirby.
I will hold your hand, I will put my arms around you, and I'll tell you that the distance made my heart grow for you. We'll throw a party, wind up singing in the kitchen, and then we'll laugh about it, just like old times again. All day long I'm thinking about you, and when the sun goes down, you're in my dreams too. Oh, this hurt and pain, I promise you, it will fade away when I'm close to you again. I ain't proud of how we left it. I thought I wanted time alone, and then the world stopped spinning. I learned a few things on my own, like here's the silver lining, here's our chance for new beginnings. We can't help bad timing, so here's the second chances. All day long I'm thinking about you, and when the sun goes down, you're in my dreams too. Oh, this hurt and pain, I promise you, it will fade away when I'm close to you again. Dreams too. Oh, this hurt and pain, I promise you, it will fade away when I'm close to you again. When I'm close to you again. When I'm close to you again. Oh, close to you again. Close to you.
Welcome back to NL Now on NTV. I am here today in the interview chair with a special guest, my friend, Dr. Mike Wahl. How are you doing today?
Great, Gary. Good to see you.
Yes, it's great to see you as well. So how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. It's it's a nice day. It's
Yes.
starting to change a little bit, a little colder outside, but I had a
Yes.
nice chill morning because I had a big interview today. I had to get ready
Yes.
for, you know?
Well, great. So I want to chat for a minute now. You've had some exciting news recently. You have your own show coming to NTV. Now, why don't you give us a little background on it? Because I believe you started it out as a radio program. So why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. I mean, here's the thing. When you've been working in a field for a long time, and in a province like Newfoundland, you get to meet a lot of really interesting people.
Yes.
And so through my little radio show I've been doing, I've had over 100 guests, all experts in different areas. And one of the things that's coming back is that Newfoundland, like, we're an amazing place to live, probably the best in the world right now, but our health isn't too good, right? And so, why not reach as many people as possible? So we've decided to do a television program. It's going to be on NTV, and it's going to teach Newfoundlanders and Labradorians about how to stay healthy here at home by embracing the things that are special about Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell our viewers at home a little bit more of a background, I guess, on yourself that's led to this show?
Sure. So I started off, I did a kinesiology degree at UMB, and then I went to the U.S., and I got really lucky because there was a Canadian strength coach, and I worked with him and trained some pro athletes, and really cool experience when I was really younger. Came to Newfoundland to do my master's and my PhD, started a wellness company, and I worked on offshore oil rigs and tankers. It was really cool. And then eventually ended up at the university. I teach in the medical school now, and I teach first and second year med students about anatomy. It's really cool.
So how about a little bit more about what people can expect if they tune into the show?
Sure. I mean, here's the thing. When people think about wellness, they think about like California or BC, but that's not us here. We live in a very different place. It's a different environment, and our lifestyles are different. So we're going to talk about things like music and how music's good for our mental health, and how it's part of daily life. We're going to talk about the foods that are from here. So things like foraging and fishing and how to prepare those foods. We're going to talk about the outdoors. We're going to talk about why Newfoundland's a great place to work if it's remote. So it's going to be very Newfoundland focused. And we're going to talk about things like we have an older population. We're going to talk about aging healthy, right? And so it's going to be very specific to the things that are relevant to us, but at the same time, it's going to feature people that have probably been on your show as well. Right. There's a lot of great people that want to help out that can explain things really well.
Yeah, so when can people expect to see this show here on NTV?
We're planning to be next summer. So what we're doing is we're starting to film in the winter time so we can get some of those great winter activities and things around Newfoundland that are inherent to that season. Then we'll have the spring, and then we'll have some of the summer stuff. So we should be able to capture a good chunk of the seasons here so that people can see how we can be healthy all year round, because it's tough. We got a long winter, right? So that'll be airing in the summertime. Yeah.
So I guess, where did the idea first come from? Of course, you started with the radio show and now the TV program. So where did that all come from?
Well, I think that, one of the roles at the university is we want to engage the community. And up at the university, there are some really, really smart people that can share the science behind what they do. And then I came from a world that was in dealing with experts that were doing. So there's also people that can then take the science we got explained and then show us how we can apply it in day-to-day life. And so a lot of that stuff is hard to explain in the radio. It's really good to go out and do something and then show people how much fun and how easy it is, and also feature our province because it's so pretty, So we've got that's kind of the premise for it. You can just do so much more when people can see you. Just like we're talking here now. It adds a lot to, for me and you to interact together.
Yes, of course. Now, has there anything that surprised you so far in the process of working on your own TV program?
Well, it's funny. Maybe I haven't given guys like you credit enough, but it takes a lot of work to organize a TV show. There's a lot of people. I'm sure your team is big, and people are there to help, but there's so many steps involved with it. You got to organize the right people. You got to make sure you're asking the right questions, and then you got to edit it all. So there's a lot of work to make something good, but you know what? You'll probably find the same thing, but it's really rewarding when you can turn out a product that's like fun to watch, and then people can be engaged, and along the way they learn something new.
Yeah, for sure. Now, why do you think that it's so important that all of the viewers here locally, and of course across the country, that watch shows like this one and yours, why do you think it's so important to get that kind of support?
Well, I think it's important because what we're trying to share is important. And, there's a lot of sources of information out there that may not be totally accurate. And so when you've worked long enough and you've built that level of trust with people, then they can trust you to bring the right stuff to them. And so you get the really interesting folks that are going to share information that's relevant and simple. And so that's why I think it's an important thing, and that's why we get to share it, and that's why those partnerships from like places like NTV and even having people like you have me on the show are so important, because it gets the word out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to do something now I like to do with all of my guests here on NL Now. We're going to play a little game, sort of, called Get to Know Me. So I'll ask you 5 questions, and you'll come back with the first thing that pops into your head.
All right, hit me.
Okay. Your favorite food?
Oh, geez, I love sushi. It's really, really good.
Your favorite color?
Favorite color is sea foam blue, like the aqua kind of blue color. I got a house in Kitty Vitty that color.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, your favorite song to sing out loud when you're alone in the car?
Ooh, man, I'm not a very good singer, but I would have to go with probably something by like the Chili Peppers because it's kind of fun and you can say it real loud.
Sure.
Yeah.
And your favorite thing about living in Newfoundland and Labrador?
Oh, it's got to be. It's a toss-up between the people and the outdoors here. We're so lucky. I think about what's going on with COVID and the pandemic and other places in the world. People are locked inside. We have such a beautiful place, and then everybody's so nice here. So, I mean, you know, how can you say that's not the best?
And finally, why should people watch your show when it premieres?
Because we all can get better when it comes to our health. You know, everybody can get a little bit better, and if we all got a little bit better, then we'd be healthier as a community, and that helps all of us.
Great. Now, Mike, one last question before we go to the break here. If people want to stay updated on your show and anything else that you might be doing, where can they do that?
Perfect. Well, like you, we've got social media channels. You can find us at Wahl_show on Instagram and look up The Wahl Show on Facebook. And we have a new website that's coming out as well called wahlshow.com, where they can find lots of trailers and teasers and all sorts of good stuff as we develop it.
Well, perfect. Well, that's great. Thank you so much for coming in today. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Great to see you, buddy. Give me some knuckles.
There you go. All
Cheers.
right. And folks at home, don't forget, of course, to check out The Wahl Show. Stands for Wellness and a Healthy Lifestyle. Coming to NTV next year. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, I'll be chatting with Chris Kirby, and he has another song for us right here on NL Now. Welcome back to the show. Here now we have a special treat for you. We had a few minutes to fill on this morning's time slot, so we have a special musical performance from one of our own. Please welcome to NL Now, Mr. Lawrence Moody. There we go. This is a song from the Muppet movie. And it's called Rainbow Connection. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star. Somebody thought of that and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that us stargazing, and what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I've heard them the sweet sound that calls the young sailors. The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and you. La-dee-da-dee-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dee-da-da-doo. Yeah. Thanks again, folks. Welcome back to NL Now. I'm here on our musical guest set with Chris Kirby. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing, Gary?
I am doing good. Well, I want to thank you, first of all, so much for taking the time to come in today.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. It's always great to see you.
Yes.
It's been a while for us.
It has. It's been a few years.
Yeah.
You were on our first season way back 4 years ago now.
Wow, I can't believe it. A lot of change since then. I see you're
Yes.
working on your beard.
Oh, yes, of course. Now, Chris, why don't you tell our viewers, first of all, why you're here in the province again for us to have this opportunity to chat?
Yeah, well, I guess a lot of people may or may not know. I'm living in Nova Scotia now, and I'm back with my buds, Quote the Raven,
Yes.
doing a tour. We're doing the arts and culture centers all across the province, and yeah, what a great opportunity to come back home.
Yes. Now, a little while back, me and my friends here at NL Now, we starred in one of your music videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and we showed that clip to our viewers last season here on NTV. So why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about that song and the inspiration behind the video, I guess.
Cool. Well, yeah, I wrote that song about my wife. Her name is Victoria, and well, I wrote it when we first started dating, and it was pretty risky writing a love song for someone that you just met, but worked out all right for me.
Yes.
And I've always been a fan of everything, of all the characters like yourself, we'll say,
Sure.
from Jim Henson on. So yeah, I loved the opportunity to work with your whole team. It was an exciting thing for me.
Yes, it was very exciting for us as well. Now, so what's coming up next for you, Chris? Do you have anything planned? Any new projects?
What's coming up for me? I'm always working on new music, and I'm working. My main boss now for the past few years has been a guy from Nova Scotia called Matt Anderson. Maybe you know him. And I just worked in studio with him, recording his solo album.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. So I'm sort of busy behind the scenes these days, but
Right.
You never know when I'll pop up.
You never know. And, well, folks, thank you so much, Chris, for coming in today. It's been
Thank
great
you.
having you here. And we will be right back after this short break here on NL Now with a song from Chris Kirby.
Body of a dancer, spirit of a saint on fire. When she move, I swear, I can hear maracas. Victoria, you know they all adore ya. Yeah, 'cause they all know same thing I know. No, got no lot, nobody can control ya. Courage from the bottom, and I push myself your way. When I move, I swear, you're getting further away. Oh, adore you. Yes, I do. Oh, and they all know the same thing I know. No, got no law, nobody can control you. Even now as I hold you, I know nothing gonna hold you down. And when we move, I swear, the envy of this town. Yeah. Oh, and they all know the same thing I know. I said they all know the same thing I know. Oh, they